Hello, everybody. My name is Akeyta, Akari, Aurora, and welcome to this week's exploration of GeneKeys. This week we are blessed with GeneKey number 1. It's almost like we have a fresh start, right? And it's beautiful coming in with the 11th month, where we have a lot of self-reflection and walking through new doors, right? So it's a season of freshness. GeneKey 1, the shadow of entropy, the gift of freshness, and the CD of beauty. Its programming partner is number 2. Richard Rudd says that the genius of freshness is to bring something to the world that no other has ever seen before. My wisdom story. People can say I was born with a big smile on my face, but as I grew up, I'd suddenly feel sad and depressed without warning, and it scared me. I wanted that low feeling to go away. So I tried to get rid of it. I avoided it, judged it, tried it, and called it cat heart. Then, to fix it, I even tried to predict it and got pretty good at explaining it. But I still couldn't control it. The gloom came whenever it felt like coming, never asking for my permission. For a while, I managed to push the pain away by keeping myself nice and busy. I frantically filled my calendar and life with people and activities. But eventually I burned out from all of that busyness. There were days, weeks, even months I couldn't get out of bed. I felt numb, like my life was deteriorating and taken over by entropy. I was convinced something was terribly wrong with my feelings, and for me, having them. And I was certain that my sadness was keeping me from creating the life I knew I should have. One day, out of pure desperation, I gave up on judging and fighting the melancholy. And the strangest thing happened. It just went away. In its own sweet time, like a cloud floating by, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. And then, to my delight, my creativity peeked out like the sun. Now I allow myself plenty of alone time to simply be. I see my low moments as a natural part of life. I embrace them fully without over analyzing. The less hard I work at it, the more I find joy and aliveness rising up from within me, as well as a natural desire to express that joy in a creative way. I now trust that it is actually healthy for me to burst forth with freshness and enthusiasm when joy appears, and then to withdraw and enjoy my solitude when my creative rumblings pull me inward. I have the best impact that way. My gift to you. When I look at you and you're feeling down, I know that nothing is innately wrong. Your wise body is recharging, and something deep and creative is growing in your beautiful belly. Please do not worry. If you don't have a clue about what's being born, just do your best to trust and allow for your feelings and take a little me time. Soon enough, you will feel renewed and ready to burst out into the world with freshness and a new perspective. The more you learn how to embrace your sadness with open arms, the more energized people will feel when they are around you. They will see the light and fire in your soul. Remember, the aliveness and beauty you see in me are in you too. Your joy is more resilient and contagious than you can even imagine, and its timing is perfect. So embrace where you are and trust that your bright light will always appear just when it can have its own most inspiring impact. Beautiful. Questions for contemplation. Do you often find yourself judging, overanalyzing, or trying to get rid of a certain feeling? How does this impact your body? Which of your feelings do you tend to push away the most because of its heaviness? Find a way to give yourself a total permission to have and express this feeling today. Write about it in your journal, share about it with someone you trust, listen to a song or watch a movie that captures it. Make a simple feeling or collage. Make a simple feeling collage. Whatever you do, give it space and see what happens. What simple act would bring more beauty into your life today? Beautiful contemplations. Let's see what dragon and unicorns have come out to support this beautiful, beautiful gene key. The key of the shadow of entropy, the gift of freshness, and the CD of beauty. Its programming partner being number 2, orientation. And Richard Rudd says again, the genius of freshness is to bring something into the world that no other has ever seen before. Let's get fresh. Let's bring out the dragons and unicorns. Hello, everybody. My name is Akeyta Akari Aurora, and let's get into the dragons. All right. This gene key brought out the sunshine yellow dragon and the aquamarine dragon from Neptune. I am having some major synchronicities and resonance with this gene key. This is my purpose gene key, which reminds me as we explore these gene keys, when your gene key pops up, let me know. Let me know if there are any synchronicities or resonance. So when my birthday was in August, and this is actually how I got the creative idea to include and merge the gene keys with the dragons. On my birthday, I do several readings for myself. during my birthday week and month. And I said, let me see which dragons I'm working with this year. And the aquamarine dragon from Neptune came up. So it's interesting. It's very synchronistic. It's not a coincidence. It's connected. That my purpose gene key is gene key 1. And here comes that aquamarine dragon from Neptune reminding me to, let's dig into that one first, reminding me to access my deepest soul wisdoms. The aquamarine dragon from Neptune is about spirituality and wisdom, reminding us how much they are available to us and to develop our psychic, or as I say, my 5 clairs, and to receive the infallible soul knowledge. All right. As I was taking some notes, I actually went into the sunshine yellow dragon first, but now that I'm here, I'm starting with the aquamarine. And this time I wanted to focus on the Neptune energy and just kind of see why this Neptune energy was coming back to us. And I always like to look at the codes and the symbols and the colors on the Gene Key cards, and it has a beautiful Sankofa sign on her neck, which is the Neptune color of aquamarine. Also, that Sankofa symbol. Ironically, I have that on me as well. So that was a very interesting synchronicity when I looked at that. And also the aquamarine also made me think of the higher heart chakra, which is it's almost a bridge between, I look at it as that bridge between our heart chakra and our throat chakra, which is the blue, right? And the heart chakra is the green. So that aquamarine color coming out of those two portals, bridging those two portals of the blue and the green, and accessing as well our higher chakras as we go into the higher heart, as we go into the throat, as we go into the third eye and the crown chakras, right? So a lot of symbology there and a lot of connection, right? So let's get into it. The aquamarine dragon from Neptune. It enables us to access our deepest soul wisdom. It's all about spirituality and wisdom and the development of our 5 clairs. Clairvoyant is tapping into our crown chakra. Claircognizance is tapping into our crown chakra. Clairaudience is tapping into your third eye, and that's clear hearing. Claircognizance is clear knowing. Clairvoyance is the seeing, and again, that third eye chakra. And there's also clear empathy, and that's connecting with our heart chakra. And we have clear sentient, and that is the 5 senses, taste, touch, feel, all of that. And that also is our third eye. So when we're tapping into our spirituality and our spiritual technology, again, we're tapping into our chakras and knowing how to develop these psychic centers, right? The crown chakra, the third eye chakra, and the heart chakra, right? So let's get more into Neptune itself, right? The planet Neptune signifies advanced spirituality and wisdom and information and knowledge, right? It also carries a 7th dimensional energy, and there's also a lot of water energy with that. So we're tapping into the water element as well. It allows that process of receiving information and knowing how to apply it wisely. Again, when I read that, I giggled because I said, this is what sparked the idea of merging the gene key and the dragons. You know what I mean? So, receiving that information and knowing how to apply it wisely. And it really did that, you know? It allows us to access more of our ineffable soul knowledge and wisdom and pass it on to others humbly, honestly, and sincerely. It helps us to develop our light bodies, opening up and developing our psychic chakras, right? So again, that third eye, that crown chakra, then the throat chakra, you know, those higher chakras as well. It increases our subtle knowing. And remember, if you follow my Scorpio reading for this month, it was all about those subtle energies, right? And being able to feel those subtle energies and auras, right? Being able to feel that and connect with them, right? So increases your ability to actually feel those subtle energies around you and within you. Again, this aquamarine frequency, what is that, right? Other than increasing our subtle knowing, it is it's a frequency, it's a higher energy frequency. Again, the higher heart chakra, right? Tapping into all of that, right? It's about our soul contentment. It's about our divine magnificence. And it's about the higher levels of enlightenment and perspective. And again, this aquamarine dragon from Neptune, that Neptune energy, we're tapping into the Pisces energy, you know, and again, the water energy, right? King of the seas, right? That trident symbol, right? Neptune just completed, I think it was 165 year orbit or something like that, which is their 1 year, right? So when we think of the planet Neptune, the Neptune's 1 day is 16 hours, right? So that's different from what we're used to, right? 1 year is 165 years, right? So again, this makes me think of thinking out the box, thinking a higher perspective, thinking differently. Neptune also has 6 rings and 13 moons, and it is 57.7 times the volume of Earth. So again, thinking bigger, thinking out of the box, thinking differently, you know, that more enlightened and higher perspective, right? Its symbolism, its animal natures are horses and dolphins and bulls. It also connects to the creatures of the ocean, right? And I did some reading up on Neptune. Of course, this is how I know all of this. This is not stored in my body. Right? Neptune from 2011, from the 2011-2012 period until the 2025 to 2026 period, they consider that period the ultimate magician because of Neptune's position. Neptune, Pisces is in Neptune, and it's in Neptune which is its home for that entire period. And they frame that period the ultimate magician. So again, tying it all into GeneKey number 1, right? The shadow of entropy, the gift of freshness, and the city of beauty, and allowing all of that newness to come into you, right? In order to be that ultimate magician and having that enlightened perspective and higher level of knowing, right? So allowing that aquamarine frequency to spark you into freshness and beauty, right? Isn't that beautiful? And then we also had the sunshine dragon, the sunshine yellow dragon. And I was like, and this this one actually came out first. And I was like, where is that going? But also tapping that back into the dreamer of Neptune, right? So the dreamer, it says, the dreamer who prefers to retreat to a fantasy world where they are surrounded by imagination, love, and magic, right? So that's the energy of Pisces in Neptune, and that's really where we are since 2011 to 2026. So we have to activate that imagination, that love, that magic within ourselves. And we also have to know how to retreat, right? To come into that freshness and then have that spark of the new idea coming into us for the creation, right? All right, so let's go into the Sunshine Yellow Dragon and see what that's all about. This GeneKey did come out with 2 dragons and 2 unicorns, and I understand because it's number 1. We're in November and we're heading into the 11/11 portal. So let's see what's up next. Okay, so the Sunshine Yellow Dragon. Let's find out what it has to do with GeneKey 1. The gift of freshness, the shadow of entropy, and the seedy of beauty. The Sunshine Yellow Dragon has come to help us, to help the animals, to heal, to respect, and to understand. It says, whatever, oh, not it says. As I was doing this work, what came to mind was, whatever you do to the least of my brothers, that I shall do unto you. And not because the animals are the least of us, but it's because, as they say, we were given dominion, right? And I remember a few years ago, I really was contemplating or meditating on that scripture or that word or phrase, and I was saying, um, to have dominion over something really is an act of authority or a sense of authority as well as responsibility. And it doesn't mean to control, but to take care of and to love, to heal, to respect, and to understand. Just what this card is asking us to do. So as we as man take our role of having dominion, and I would say with something as opposed to over something, um, that we really step into that role with animals, helping to heal them, knowing that, forming a relationship of respect, and also tapping into our, as the aquamarine dragon from Neptune was reminding us to understand, right? And to tapping into our higher levels of knowledge and wisdom, and our subtle energies, right? And in order to communicate and understand and to heal animals, there has to be this awakening of subtle energies within you in order to connect with animals, right? To connect with their language, their unspoken language, to connect with their tones and to their sounds, right? All of that is activating within your third eye as well as within your heart chakra, being able again to tune into these subtle energies and frequencies, right? And it's all connected into GeneKey 1, reminding us that everyone is on a soul journey, even the animals, right? And the animals too come here to help, right? To help the grand picture. And this card is also reminding us that the animals come from a myriad of star systems and planets just like us. So again, this GeneKey, again, it's the GeneKey of 1, right? Um And again, I'm just feeling that oneness, the oneness between everything. And this is bridging the oneness of humanity with the animal kingdom. It says, like us, they are here to learn, to teach, to experience, and to serve, right? I wrote human responsibility, dominion, to cooperate, to look out. Well, no, they wrote human responsibility, and I wrote dominion, right? And what is that again? To cooperate, to look after, and to learn from the animal kingdom, right? So again, us having dominion really means, hey, I'm putting you here to cooperate with what is here already, what is here before you. And that came through something else, probably maybe my creative solutions one. But again, that knowing that trust that there is there's something that came after, that's coming after me, that is here to cooperate with me, to look after me. As I was doing this card, it's like we get sometimes so um anxious and nervous and afraid with fear, with change, and not with fear, but with change, right? And when change comes, we immediately go into this resistance, fear. It's almost like that's the default response, the natural response. And I just was thinking of the animals. I was watching Life the other day on Netflix, and going through those kingdoms, the water, and then it went through the plants, and then the animals, and I'm like, the people, you see how much went on before man came in to into play. But that's safety and that grounding. And it's interesting that we go into the earth for the grounding, that feeling safe and nurtured and protected, right? But that energy that the animal kingdom must hold on to in terms of frequency holders, and why we even connect into the animals, because the animals actually feel safe, right? And they have that energy that they know that what comes after them. They know how long they've been here, but they are actually grounded in the fact that what comes after them will help to preserve them as well as learn from them. And it would be so beautiful if humans could adopt that from the animals, knowing, not being afraid of what comes after us, but knowing that what's coming is actually going to preserve me, is going to help to preserve me, and it is going to be able to learn from me because of what I know I am, and the gifts I have to share to that which is coming. And that's a very full, powerful place to be. And sometimes we wonder why the animals are so free and beautiful and empowered, right? So I wrote this perspective of beauty, not just being and seeing, but rising and emerging, right? Again, right. So that beauty can emerge, right, from what is here. The perspective of beauty, quote unquote, not just seeing that, oh, everything in front of me is beautiful, but knowing and trusting that what is rising from me and what is coming after me will too be beauty, So this card also talks about the angel of animals, and they call that Fae, Fhelyi. I've never saw that word before, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Felia, but I'm not sure. But Fhelyaa, and it talks about the angel of animals, and just reminding us to treat animals with respect, And again, GeneKey 1, freshness and beauty. Again, the animals are such a big part of the beauty that we are able to experience as human beings. They play such pivotal and vital roles in our lives and our livelihood, you know and really just remembering that as we tap into the aquamarine and as we become activated, and just remembering that whole aquamarine energy was also about unlocking our keys and our codes from our soul wisdom. So again, it's this energy of just coming back into wholeness and knowing yourself and whom you are, as well as that relationship that you're having with the kingdoms around you, right? The freshness and the beauty of the whole. All right, so let's go into the unicorns and the dragons and see what messages they have for us. Remember, this is Gene Key number 1, the gift of freshness, the shadow of entropy, and the CD of beauty. All right, let's get into the unicorns. All right, so the dragons did so much. Let's see what the unicorns have up. All right, so the first unicorn we are going to dig into is unicorn number 36, and its message is to be a beacon, be an inspiration, and light the way for others. And remember, Gene Key number 1, the gift of freshness, the archetype of the spark, right? So this is perfect synchronicity with being a beacon and sparking the way for yourself as inspiration as well as for others, right? Lighting the way for others. It's the card of way showers, it says. It gives others hope. Way showers are the holders of keys and codes. Within their energy fields, they hold the knowledge and the information and the wisdom attained from their soul journeys, right? So this is Gene Key 1, right? So embodying those codes and those keys and being a way shower and a beacon of inspiration for others, beaconing freshness, beaconing beauty, right? Showing the beauty of the world, right? Seeing beauty where you might not think there is beauty, but allowing yourself to allow that beauty and freshness to come in. And that's how we step away from that shadow of entropy, seeing the beauty, being the beacon of light, inspiring others with hope and love, right? And again, remembering those soul wisdoms, that information that is embodied within your energy fields. And what are the energy fields? Our chakras. All right, this is a spiritual flame, being a spiritual flame. Way showers are spiritual flames, right, that awaken gifts and qualities and hidden possibility in those around you. Your presence alone lifts people up energetically and makes them feel better. Just be yourself and shine your light more strongly. How are we able to do this? By being grounded, by being positive, by smiling, and by spreading joy and happiness. All right. Then we go into card number 13, and I'm literally going to just read this straight from the book because, sometimes it just is said best by the author. Right? So, creative solutions. And again, perfect match for freshness and beauty. And the card of creative solutions says, think outside the box. Remember that Neptune energy, right? Accessing your deepest soul wisdoms. So it's time for us to think outside the box, guys. Get fresh, right? Tap into your beauty. Think outside the box. View things from a higher perspective. And also, it ties in with this Scorpio energy, right? It's the owl, the one that is able to see through the darkness, right? And seeing through the darkness is creating that light of beauty that sparks the creation and the new thing, right? It all starts with that darkness being sparked into more and more creativity and light, right? And holding that again, the animals, right? The sunshine yellow dragon, that spark, right? That knowing that, hey, what's coming next? What comes after the night is the morning. The sun must rise, rising with that freshness. Again, knowing that what comes after me will preserve me and as well work with me and learn from me, right? So all of that GeneKey number 1 energy, right? The gift of freshness and beauty, the CD of beauty, right? So it says your life lessons are presented to you as a series of challenges. And remember, everybody's kind of, not everybody, we've been taught to be scared of number 13, right? So now we can even alchemize this into, you know what, we're no longer scared of 13 if you're not there already. But 13 is always that, it's 12 plus the hidden 1, right? So it's so beautiful that even number 13 came up, because the 13th one is the one in the middle of 12, the hidden one, right? So they say Jesus was the 13th disciple, the 12 energies around him, right? The 12 frequencies around him, but he was centered in that middle one, right? So being the 13th one. So it says your life lessons are presented to you as a series of challenges. It is how you deal with your circumstances that allows you to progress along your path and pass the test. Even when a difficulty seems insurmountable, your unicorn will remind you that there is a solution to every problem. So look at every aspect of the situation from a higher perspective. See with spiritual eyes. Listen with compassionate ears, and send love to every person involved, however troublesome they appear to be. Whatever the trial or setback, love is the universal solvent that transmutes everything. It allows magical solutions to emerge that your conscious mind could not imagine. Receiving this card suggests that you either are going through a test right now or will do shortly. It is a rite of passage on your path that will open a door to something better. 1111, we're at that moment. You have the courage, tenacity, and spiritual strength to handle any challenge. But this may be a time for meditation, negotiation, or a complete rethink. Neptune. Examine everything with wisdom and act with diplomacy. Then the outcome will be better than you anticipate. When you raise your frequency above that of a difficulty, it can no longer have an impact on you. Use your creative mind to think outside the box and ask your unicorn for help, and stay open to its responses. Remembering that GeneKey number 1, the gift of freshness, was creating that thing that has never been seen before, right? So we're thinking out of the box. We're walking through the doors of the 11 level portal on Saturday, and we're creating solutions by being a beacon, tapping into beauty and freshness and our divine selves. Thank you for joining me for this GeneKey number 1. It is one of my favorites and my life purpose. I'm willing you all beauty and freshness. Have a great day, guys. And just a little note from 64doorways.com about the archetype, the spark. Self-expression, originality, and eros, which means love and fertility. The spark is creativity embodied. She loves finding fresh forms of expression that explore new avenues and break new ground. The archetype creates for the fun of it rather than for the purpose of recognition or reward. When she is in her element, her drive is invaluable to any project or endeavor. The spark will automatically inject life and light into a group that she is a part of. The creativity of this archetype is rooted in a philosophy. That philosophy is, I have to do it my way. And I can say that that is co-signed, tested, and approved. One of my favorite songs, Frank Sinatra. Have to do it my way. All right, guys, have a beautiful GeneKey week and GeneKey 1 week, and have a beautiful, beautiful 11/11 portal. Step into it and step out of it, brand new. Love you all. Have a great one.